Welcome to Nerds Talking the Podcast. I'm here with Laura, Carlos, and I'm Lafayette, and we are joined by two guests, and they just popped in right on time. We have Gil Smith in the house. He is the man of the Ricardo Montalban Foundation and Theater in Hollywood, and Lyn Tejada, who is with us, which I met last week. She is the PR for Carlos. What is the firm called?
Oh,
Green.
Green Galactic is my
Boom.
own
Lynn just
company.
Lynn
Oh,
just
sorry.
no, you got it, Lynn. You got it. No, you pop in.
Mine
I
was
mean,
good. Yeah.
Carlos was just talking about it, so I kind of threw it at him. And but it's all good. It's all good. Um, so well, thanks for joining us. I mean, you guys, we're here to talk about a fantastic show you guys have right now in Hollywood at the Ricardo Montalban Theater, which I saw last week. That was that your first show you guys have put on? Like full production wise?
We started this with Russell Beattie, who was the creator of Empire Strips Back a year and a half ago when he was on board, and he and I started conjuring up ways of let's say collaborating his work and our theater to really do a full scale production from the start up. And yeah, it's from ground up. We produced it, and we're looking to get it into the light and to make people laugh, as opposed to having a drama that is about dysfunctional families. And it's a wonderful night out. It's a Follies.
It is. Oh, definitely is.
So yeah, Lafayette, you saw it on opening night.
I did see it on opening night. I saw it's so we'll get into the whole entire show. But Lynn, if you had to summarize the show for people that want to go see it, how would you put it?
You know, it's so interesting because when I go to answer that question, I have to reel back for a second to say how excited I was and I am to see new work by Russell Beattie, who, as Gil said, did the Empire Strips Back. And we've been promoting it as this amazing burlesque and parody. And so when I finally saw it, I was blown away, and I shouldn't have been blown away, but I was so blown away by the talent of the singers and the dancers. And it was almost like in a more mature production, not as parody, I think. But it's it's the whole, can I say, the Batman universe here, Gil?
Yeah, sure.
It's the
That's what
whole
it
Gotham
is.
City kind of universe and characters brought to life. And Russell, he's kind of this creative genius. Many people who came to see it are familiar with his book that he based his production on, and it's like an alternative history of Gotham City between the world wars. And so it's like the revue format and Follies. It's a magical thing. I'm gonna let Gil. And also Lafayette saw it. You could tell us what you
Oh
thought
yeah,
of
no, I'm gonna
it.
yeah. But Gil, yeah, I mean, what give us your take on that whole world? Because I did originally see it with the book, and then somebody took the book, and it may have been somebody that helped with the book, but they actually put it on a YouTube video, and they broke down the whole world of Batman and its villains, and from 1930. It's so good too. The whole YouTube
That's Russell, I
breakdown.
think, doing that.
Well, Russell did a version, but there are a lot of fan videos that have sprouted up from that book, and he's got a large following. My inclination to take on a project like this was in part because of the history that Hollywood has for the Follies and for the big dance numbers, and in the films where MGM and Screen Gems and Samuel Goldwyn Mayer and all these great, the Ziegfeld Follies all started here, and were put up on film and on stage, and including Josephine Baker here in the 1950s, or as late as the 1950s. And so having that genre come back live is truly an immersive experience. And that overused term is now being brought to life and basically disorienting our audience, as Lynn said, with fantastic talents of each scene that we are presenting. And it's basically 12 scenes and with an intermission. And we take advantage of the talent that is presented by the individual, and Russell's genius to create pairings with modern music, rock and roll, and the comedy that we're presenting.
Yeah, it's a fantastic show. Help me with the title again. Is it Say it again.
Batette Follies of
Batette
1930.
There you go. Batette Follies of 1939. It is a Batman parody that, again, it's a vaudeville burlesque show with everything in it, singing to really like humor, especially the Riddler. And you got really, I mean, the Scarecrow was phenomenal. People, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it, but that whole bit was great. There's like, again, the burlesque part of it with the strip tease, that's done like super choreography. Like, it's really well done, from Poison Ivy doing hers to Catwoman's opening scene to Batgirl doing the acrobatic presentation, all that. I mean, it's just, you get it all. You get tap dancing, you get singing, you get comedy. But if you're a huge fan of Batman, it's just a lot of fun to kind of get a different take on everything, but sticking to what you know about Batman. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take away. Like, it doesn't like for instance, Mr. Freeze is singing about his wife and the idea of silence, how he can't speak to his wife anymore. And his song is The Sound of Silence, and how he's like, he knows he'll never get to speak to her again, as she's encased in glass, right? So everything keeps the mythos of Batman. It's not like it's not making fun of, it's having fun with it, right? I think if you're a huge fan of Batman, and just in general comics, or even just you want to go watch a fun show, it's a great show to catch. Like I said, I saw it and it was a blast. I mean, it was a lot of, everybody in the audience had a blast with it.
Yeah, well, I've had a number of let's say motion picture executives come through the theater in the first week, and they're just gushing over the quality of our production. And we're all aware of the sensitivity in treating IPs properly. And so because it can go overboard and it can be gross and mistaken for, I mean, this is art. This is high art at its finest. And we want this show, we're publicly open for 6 weeks with this show. We follow up with Vampire Circus in the fall, and then we come back with Empire Strips Back, which was Russell's first hit here. It comes in on October 10th. And tried and true, we had 12 weeks that when they pulled out in early 23, we were selling out every night. So the word of mouth, once we start up with a brand new show like this, we're relying upon the fact that when people see the actual show, because when Russell came to me, it didn't exist other than having done one in a coffee house 12 years ago. And as a fully fleshed out show, we had to bring it here and start building props over the last year and casting unique individuals. And it's coming. I mean, I'm really proud of the crew, the people who we've developed inside our theater. Russell is a consummate professional and artist, because his work, it just has that look. I call him the Banksy of Australia. So, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, like I said, it's a lot of fun, the show. And like Harley Quinn, like I said, everything is played perfectly. Nothing is out of place. Like I said, it's just a blast. And again, you don't have to be a fan. If you're a fan of vaudeville and burlesque, I mean, you're getting everything, comedy and everything. So I thought the Joker bit was hilarious, because if people don't, the Joker comes out like very nonchalant, singing about how, he's terrifying, but it's very very happy-go-lucky, almost like he is, like the Joker should be, right? Like I said, it's a lot of fun. And Carlos, do you have anything you want to ask?
Yeah, that Empire Strips Back is actually in my area right now. So do you recommend going to see it?
Oh, it's at the Great Star in San Francisco?
It's actually in the Sacramento area.
Oh, Sacramento area. Go ahead. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That is, I mean, look, that show has such great timing to it. It's so much fun. That's part of the joy of running theater, is when you have partners who are in it to create fun mayhem. And Empire, the Emperor and the Emperor's Guard scene alone is worth the ticket price. And I'm not saying any more than that, but it was absolutely a showstopper.
All right, sold. I'll get my tickets tonight.
All right.
Sold. So Gil, tell us a little bit about the Montalbán Theater and your relationship to Ricardo Montalban. Correct? Is that correct?
Oh, I was his son-in-law. I married his daughter in 1978, and we met. I was a photographer at the time, and she was a model. And her aunt was Loretta Young. And if you're familiar with Loretta Young, she had her Aunt Loretta's looks and her father's demeanor, and not the other way around. So it worked really well as being a husband and wife. It was very funny. The first time I met Ricardo, I was with my future wife, Anita, and she knew as a photographer because we met on a shoot. And so when we got to the front door, she said, "Don't tell him you're a photographer, and tell him you're a creative director." I didn't question. I just went ahead and introduced myself. She told me later, she goes, they think all photographers are paparazzi. I did that. So 20 years later, we're at a party down at the Orpheum Theater after an Eric Idle show. And a man comes up to me, and I was running the theater at the time. And he said, "Are you in the industry?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm a creative director at the Montalbán Theater." And I got a nudge from my wife. And so after the man left, she said, "You're not a creative director, you're a photographer." And I said, I'm all confused. Anyway, she was wonderful. She passed away, unfortunately, with a battle of cancer in November of 21. And,
wow.
And so it's been an interesting odyssey over the last couple of years, because we had combined the pandemic. She had been diagnosed in 2016 with the cancer, and her memory and what our life is continuing on with some of the work that I'm doing. And hopefully we agreed to a doctor's using the cells that were attacking her for future research. And I've been told that actually several breakthroughs with the cell line that they formed with her cells have created possibilities for stopping that particular cancer, PPC, in the future. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of bittersweet things that we do in life, and
right.
And the theater, to tell you the truth, is about comedy. It's about dance, and it's about life. And that's what Ricardo really represented. He wanted to embrace, and so did Anita, my wife, embrace the community and bring people together and not be divisive. And this is where we host Hola Mexico Film Festival. We have the Los Angeles Jazz Society come in for a concert annually for a fundraiser with top names. We're doing the sit-down shows now, and we pioneered the rooftop movies back years ago when nobody was doing anything on the rooftops, and we're now changing the rooftop into being an iceberg lounge.
Nice.
And our plans are this summer is that while we're running Badettes on the main stage, we're going to find specialty acts to come on and do 15-minute, 20-minute acts on the hour or something in between the shows and after the shows, so that people who come for we have double bills, basically, twos on Fridays and Saturdays. So if people see the early show and want to stay for the late show, we have a package where we can, bring them back and a good value for their night. So. And I can tell you, seeing Badettes more than once is not overdoing it. They're just subtleties to the way the scenes work that we laugh every time. I mean, it's simple stuff.
That's the beauty of live theater, right? That no two scenes are ever the same. So being able to watch it multiple times is always a delight. I think that a lot of that has been lost over the years. So I think that's really cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, we take notes every night, and we try to improve. From day one to day throughout a series, and quite frankly, the show will evolve because of the way, the spontaneity or the timing. It was different every night this last weekend, and it's going to be different coming up.
That's awesome.
Now the Montalbán, as Ricardo, now was it hit? Did he, I guess, ground up? Has it always been the Montalbán?
Oh no. It was built. The theater itself was built in 1925 and opened in January 27. Ricardo was 5 years old at the time and living in Mexico. But it was really funny because it was built by the Wilkes brothers. And at that time, Paramount Pictures was across the way on Vine Street. And C.B. DeMille, who was the head of Paramount, got into a big argument with the brothers. And the Wilkes brothers were the grandnephews of John Wilkes Booth. So, yes, they were leaving back east because everybody was giving them such heat for their granduncle's act of assassination that they thought they could come to the West Coast and get a clean start. Well, just like
it's kind of national news, right?
Yeah.
Even in the 60s, that's national.
Yeah, it was the 1860s. It didn't travel very far, so they figured going to California and Hollywood, nobody would know that it happened. So, but they proceeded to get into their own trouble because in 1932, after the theater was opened, one of the brothers was indicted for laundering $12.5 million. And that's a lot of money in those days. And what I figured is that it was the Prohibition era, and there was a lot of cash rolling around, and how many seats are filled as opposed to, nobody's really sitting there counting them. So when they were turning in their receipts, there were several additional hundreds of seats every night that may not have had people in them, but they were paying the way for the theater to stay open. That's my supposition right now. I'm always looking for ways to support the theater.
So did anybody tell the booths, look, you're not allowed nowhere near the balcony? Nowhere.
I mean, I'm not even near a theater. Don't even go in. Stay outside.
They were probably stuffing the seats with cash. Who knows? Anyway.
Lynn, can you tell me a little bit about kind of your background and how you're involved with the show? Like what is your connection?
So Gil brought me in to be the venue's publicist for one particular show back in, I think, maybe 2017. ENRA, the Japanese performing arts dancing multimedia. It was very cool. And then he brought me in to be the official publicist starting in maybe 2018, which is a thrill and an honor for me, but it's also kind of perfectly aligned with my own history as a publicist because I'm an arts and culture publicist. So I historically have worked with, artists and musicians and filmmakers and theater makers and dancers and choreographers. And so all of those things happen at the Montalbán under their roof or on their roof as far as the screenings go. So it feels like a match made in heaven for me, at least. So it's fabulous. That's how I'm involved.
Awesome.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, the show's phenomenal. The theater's great because it has like an very old vibe to it. Like it has, like, you can tell it has all the years in it. You know what I mean? Like, and Ricardo's everywhere. He's everywhere. Nobody knows Ricardo Montalban. You know him from Fantasy Island, okay, and the Wrath of Khan soundtrack.
Yeah, we know him from Khan.
No,
like,
no. I grew up knowing him from
Fantasy
Fantasy Island, growing up watching Fantasy Island, and then the plane. Like, that's how I know Ricardo. I wasn't this big Trekkie.
That was Hervé Villechaise's line. Yeah.
It was. No, I know.
Yeah, but everybody, when they refer to the scene and remember Ricardo, they always quote Hervé.
The plane. Yeah, I know. It's just, but that's how I know. I mean, everybody knows Ricardo, but like I said, it's a phenomenal show. I think is it twice on Fridays, twice on Saturdays, once on Sunday?
Yes, it's Thursday,
Thursday,
8 o'clock curtain,
Mhm.
Friday, Saturday, 7:30 and 10 curtains, and then Sunday at 7.
There you
And
go.
so, yeah, and we're going to be rocking it hard. Just the choreography. There's one man who's called Two-Face, and we have a scene with him playing 2 pianos at once.
Yes, dueling pianos. That's
Cool.
right.
You're never
Yes.
going to see Batman and Robin tap dance like this ever again. They get out, and these two guys that are the dancers, Kenji and Jordan, I think is his name. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember all the actors' names. So they are just like the Mills brothers. And so we're really experiencing what a Follies show resembled, or, in our minds, but also in reality. The choreography is phenomenal. We even have an overhead camera that looks down, so you see the patterns that are reminiscent of that period. And they come up on our side screens. So it is just a full out experience to immerse people in fun and entertainment.
Yeah, the lead singer who opens the show, she does 3 numbers. She's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, Dana.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah, she's got a great voice.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and we're actually we're right now she opens, but it's the Joker that actually opens the show, and we had to leave the lead actor for the Joker back in Australia, and he couldn't get a visa to come into the United States, so we've been recasting that role.
Oh.
And the opening scene is still kind of suspect, so it's sort of like a Saturday Night Live's dead open when she comes in and talks about the devil. I had Shadow Stevens, who I'm working on another project with called Mental Radio live, and he was sitting next to me at the opening, and he goes, "Why such a downer?" And well, it is, but it's time to be after a comedy act with Joker that's still being fleshed out. So more to come.
Yeah, I mean, it sets the tone because you go from that to Catwoman, like, again, it goes all around, right? You get comedy, you get dance, and I guess I got plenty of notes.
Yeah,
When I was watching, I took plenty of notes when I was watching the show. But people should check out this show. It's like, if you're in LA or the LA area, it's in Hollywood, Ricardo Montalban Theater. It runs until what? When does it run till?
Through July 15th. And if we have the popularity and we have some stimulated, audience participation, and we see it has the room to be extended. So,
Well, there you go.
Shit, I'm in St. Louis. I'm like, you guys are talking it up. I want to see this. I've been meaning to take a trip to California. Maybe I'll come for a weekend, see the show, see Lafayette and Carlos in person. It sounds amazing. Truly. I love live theater, and I love burlesque and dancing and singing, and I love Batman. This sounds awesome.
And Batman drinks at the bar.
yes.
That's even better.
Yeah,
I love to drink. We all know this. I love to drink.
Well, 1939 is one of my favorite periods of time. I mean, art-wise and music, prior to World War II. And so we have a new drink that is 39 with a twist. And it's a fun little number. And
What is it? What is it?
I can't tell you the secret recipe, but we're going to be selling it on basically out of our carts with cigarette girls going up and down the aisle in intermission now. And it's going to be in a mason jar. So
Cute.
yeah, it's going to be very, very like Prohibition kind of look to it. And
Bathtub gin. That's the secret ingredient. Bathtub gin.
there you go.
This is the drinks they have. The Dark Knight, which is the vodka, peach schnapps, orange juice, cranberry juice. The Cat's Meow, which is tequila, margarita, sweet and sour, and lime. And the Pale Smile, which I had, is the vodka, coconut rum, peach schnapps, orange juice, and pineapple juice. And that one is phenomenal. Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah.
Well, Ramos is our director of facilities, and he's our bartender, and he curates all these drinks. So
great job.
I have amazing things to say about him and his abilities, and everybody else at the theater. Everybody on the stage crew has been trained by us, and and Russell is the conductor of this little train of rock and roll. So
there you go.
how to
And
get
Lynn, go for it.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Gil?
Oh, I was just saying, we got to get on that bandwagon and, we just keep it stimulated and have fun for the rest of the years that I'm working here.
There you go. And Lynn, before this, what'd you do? Or your PR firm, like any huge projects or any big actors or artists that you represented or still do?
Well, besides the Montalbán, which is a thrill, because there's always new things coming in there. Like,
Yep.
and, huge entertainment, brands also use that amazing facility as their own. So when Netflix is a joke, the festival is happening throughout the month of May. They did 10, I think, shows, Gil, right?
Nice.
And the biggest star for that was David Letterman.
Yeah.
And I think those are all probably sold out shows. But in my own, so in 2 days, the end of this week, my company, Green Galactic, will celebrate 31 years in business. So I'm going to claim old age, and I can't remember. I can't remember all the things that have transpired.
Just the highlights.
Some of the filmmakers that I've gotten to work with over the years, Michel Gondry was certainly a highlight. I worked on a film called Tokyo with him and the famous Korean director. I don't want to butcher his name. The Paradise guy. I mean, Parasite.
Oh, Parasite. Yes. I saw that on your guys' site. Yes. You know what? I forgot his name too. It's like, no, Carlos might know it. No.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's Bong Joon-ho.
We're just messing it up completely. Bong Joon-ho. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Other films by filmmakers. Werner Herzog. I worked on his films. Larry Clark, Kids. John Reese, the documentary filmmaker. His very first film, which is my personal background, which is techno music and underground dance music. I come from the suburbs of Detroit. So he had Better Living Through Circuitry in 1990. And then I worked on his graffiti documentaries, Bomb It and Bomb It 2. And then I loved working with Stuart Gordon. He did Reanimator, the musical, based on his film.
That's interesting.
And that was a riot. And it played different theaters. It was so much fun. It was unbelievable. Rocky Horror Picture Show's 35th anniversary. Oh, and William Castle. This is so fun. So William Castle's daughter, Terry Castle, hired Green Galactic to do novels she pretended were by her father after his death. And so they were for young adults. And that was a silly thing. And then how can I forget that Green Galactic back in the day in the late 90s, early 2000s, we opened a second location in New York, in Dumbo, and this new little film festival called Tribeca Film Festival hired us to do the inaugural events there. We had our New York office take care of that. So anyway, lots of techno artists and everything, visual art, theater, dance. I'm on the board of Dance Camera West, which is an amazing dance film festival, but it's not a festival about dance. It's that kind of hybrid genre called screen dance or dance on film, where the films are made as a really collaborative effort between a cinematographer and a choreographer. And that's an amazing festival. It happens in January. Anyway, I'll stop.
There you go. No, there you go.
On.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a great show. Definitely check it out. Gil, pitch everybody the show so they can go see it. And let them know, give them a good pitch of like, hey, this is why you should see the show. I mean, I've already hyped it up, but give them one good pitch.
If you're looking for a unique experience in dance and harmony with surprises in comedy, come to the Montalbán and see Batette Follies 1939.
There you go. We'll put the link in the description. So you guys can get tickets or go to the show, read all about it. We'll even put the link to the YouTube, like the whole background of the show and everything. And like I said, it's even the show itself has kind of its own mythos with the YouTube videos and the book that came out. And then you go watch the show and it's kind of all comes together. And like I said, it's cool. They even have memorabilia when you walk into the theater. There's Batman's cowl and there's like Catwoman's, whip and so forth. And the Joker this and the Riddler's that. And you can see all this cool stuff that they made just for this, almost like you walked into, again, like a Warner Brothers museum in a sense. Like, oh, this is cool. Like, look at all this stuff they made. Like, just for-
immersive
yeah.
experience.
you got to get all of it. And then people are taking pictures with everything. Oh, the Batmobile shows up. I just saying, you guys got to go see the show. The Batmobile shows up. So there you go. So thanks for coming on, Gil, Lynn. Really appreciate it. Like I said, the show is phenomenal. Might have to make a second trip because
You got to come back.
I
We hope you
guarantee,
come
it's
back
like you
soon,
said,
Lafayette. And you know what? Did you get the little bat ice cream cone?
no,
It was
no.
Russell's idea, and Hoel, he created it. It's got two little
I
bat
saw it. I
ear
saw it on,
horns.
I think, Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. But
It's
no,
really-
definitely make another visit and check out the show. Because even when I saw it on Instagram, I was like, hey, it's slightly different than what I saw.
And the rooftop, like Gil was saying, will be open with the igloo, and it's going to be like every night there's new things unfolding.
That's very cool. Like
Thanks.
Gil said, you can adjust things. You can on the fly make it. You can always improve things, even if you think that's already good. 100%, and you can make it more entertaining and everything. I mean, that's what's great about it, and it's already entertaining. So if you can make it more entertaining, well, might overload. So
There you go.
so thanks again.
relentless.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
for having us.
No, thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for coming
coming.
on. We really
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
it.
for coming.
Yeah. So
Thanks for letting us
there you go. So
talk
everybody
to your
check out the
audience.
link
All right.
below. Check it out on YouTube. This will be up on YouTube. People can check out the link there to get tickets. Go to the show, the Ricardo Montalban Theater in Hollywood. We'll take a break here on Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll be right back after this.